Yes, okay. All right, Prof.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I was just saying that I was addressing the House that in few moments from now, we will be addressed by Her Excellency Hajia Fatima Sugra T. Mahmood, who is the Permanent Secretary for the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. So we're
All right,
waiting direction. And welcome, Her
we're all
Excellency
set.
Fatima. Yeah, we're set for so yeah. So Her Excellency Mahmood, Hajia Mahmood, participants and then participants, Your Excellency.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay, my name is Fatima Sugra Tabia Mahmood. I'm the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, and it's a pleasure to be with you today. So I can see very distinguished directors there, staff of our ministries and agencies, the coordinator. I can also see the very able resource persons that are handling this training. A very good afternoon to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So on behalf of the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, His Excellency Adeboyega Oyetola, CON, I warmly welcome you to this important conference titled Ethics and Integrity in the Public Sector Auditing, a tool for achieving strategic leadership and good governance. This conference is both timely and strategic, particularly within the context of the ongoing civil service reforms under the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan, FCIP 2025, as we call it, which emphasizes accountability, transparency, and performance as key drivers of an efficient and results-oriented public service. Central to these reforms is the institutionalization of EPIC culture, what we call the EPIC culture, EPIC, which stands for efficiency, productivity, incorruptibility, and citizen-centered service delivery. The internal audit functions remains critical in embedding these values, ensuring that public resources are managed with discipline, transparency, and integrity. It is important to underscore that the Marine and Blue Economy serves as Nigeria's primary interface with the global economy. Our ports, shipping activities, inland waterways, and maritime services are central to the international trade, regional integration, and economic competitiveness. As a gateway for significant proportion of our nation's imports and exports, the sector demands the highest standards of governance, financial discipline, and operational integrity. Any weaknesses in our systems, particularly in financial management and audit processes, can have far-reaching implications, not only for revenue assurance, but also for investor confidence, trade facilitation, and Nigeria's global standing. It is therefore imperative that we continuously strengthen our internal controls and uphold the highest ethical standards across all levels. Capacity building remains a key enabler in this regard. Platforms such as this conference are essential for equipping officers with the requisite knowledge, tools, and professional orientation to effectively discharge their responsibilities and support the broader reform agenda of Mr. President. I am confident that the deliberations over the next few days will enhance competencies, promote accountability, and reinforce a culture of integrity within the ministry and its agencies. And particularly because it's being done together, it's very important to have that common understanding of what needs to be done so that everybody is working in a particular direction. So therefore, I wish to commend the Internal Audit Unit of the Ministry for this initiative and appreciate the chief executives of our agencies and their staff for their prompt support and commitment towards successful implementation. It would be remiss of me not to acknowledge the very competent coordinators and resource persons that have been brought on board to impart that knowledge and also to share experiences, because where somebody else's knowledge, another person stops, another person starts. And it is through such interactions that people can borrow excellent practices and also share lessons and be able to bring it back home and implement. So for that, I say thank you, Prof, for the very able work that you people are doing. So, and I encourage all participants to participate actively, engage, share experiences, and maximize the opportunities presented by this conference. And you will notice that we're not doing it back home. We've come to a sister nation, because in travel also there is learning, there is exposure. It allows you to build confidence. It allows you to associate and also form relationships across board. So don't look at just the inside of the classroom, but the experience that you garner as you travel elsewhere to go and be impacted with another, set of knowledge is very important. To be able to just be a traveler is learning, okay? So on this note, it is my singular honor and privilege to declare this training officially open, and to just say sorry that it is being done today, but I was in transit yesterday. So thank you very much. God bless you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Amen. Thank you, ma'am, Excellency, on behalf of ACCSA Global, the entire board. I want to sincerely express our sincere and heartfelt appreciation to you and for the valuable support, prompt approval, and active participation in the Ghana Conference. And we are assuring you, as the training director, that we have provision also for partnership, just like you mentioned in your opening remarks, that we need to do it together. There is no nation that is an island of itself. Yesterday, we also did mention that where one person have comparative advantage, some other person is having another area. And together, we put all these experience to work. And by God's grace, we have a better Nigeria, the new Nigeria of our dream. Once again, Mungo Dima. God bless you.
Welcome. God
Thank
bless all of you. And I wish everybody safe travels back and a very, very productive engagement. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm. Mhm.
Problem.
All right, we can continue.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right.
So I want to conclude my we know from creation, God did not make mistake for creating this head. And in a similar way, if you look at our technology, the development that they have reeled up over time, they used to have what they call head. Look at the train. Train has head. If the train is moving, the other long part follows. If plane has head, if it's taxing, the body follow the head. The head. So all these head, they have a special function. And what is that function? Leading. Then the body follow. I want to bring this thing back to us here. Rollins, there was a time he operated in Ghana here. We knew the state of Ghana before Rollins came in. After some time, did you people, we had all the story everywhere. Things started following. Ghanaians started following until that era ended. So what Africa needs is a leadership. Africans are good followers, especially in Nigeria. We are good followers. But to get that person that will lead us through. I remember in a time, then we were still very small, late General Black, the recipes. That era, all this reservoir. He came on board, many things started taking shape. Yes. Now, I remember late General Murisala. We were very small in the primary school play. But as a student of history, we read what Murisala did. Truancy, all those who work, coming to work late, all those things. He will wake up himself early and drove himself to work early. If you are coming, they'll stop you. And things change. So, like as I said yesterday, even if you are from Harvard or Yale, I will not agree with any position that go contrary to the position of leadership is there to lead. I submit my humble submission. Thank you.
Yeah, you have already finished the whole lesson. That leader you are looking for must implement the rules in monitoring and evaluation. It must track and at all levels. We need that leader to promote accountability culture. He must come to work early and make sure everything moves according to plan to enable us to achieve the organizational objectives that we want to achieve in public financial management. Now, and that leader must be somebody who must strengthen compliance mechanisms. How is he going to do it? Clear policies and procedures for the following. And the policy should not become so simple, accessible, and well documented. That leader must, your job, internal control and checks. That leader must adhere to it. You must always be checking them. If it's going to be weekly basis, Friday they must report, go around the books. So it's called for additional work. That leader must be having regular audit reviews. That leader must be somebody who is fearless. When you mess up, he must sanction you. Sanction for the person to know that it is for correction, not for punishment. And that leader must encourage activities of the whistleblower. Because the whistleblowers, they are not like informants. Their duty is to, if there is an act of impropriety going on in the organization, then you come and give information, and it must be protected at all levels. The aim is to make sure the objective is just achieved. Now let's look at this thing. Auditors. In this whole game, what are you supposed to do? Because when you succeed, you succeed. When you fail, you are part of it. You are part of the problem or the solution. You must be fearless. Monitor and adhere to policies. For the policies, we all agree they are all good. They are robust. But the implementation is the problem. And the implementation, we need a leader who will lead it. So you two there, you must verify whether financial activities comply with the regulations. Those down there, don't fear them. They are doing your work. That's your function. You must identify implementation of the gaps. What are the gaps there? You must identify them. Then you highlight the area where policies are not effectively applied. That's your job there. If you fail, we fail. If you succeed, we succeed. Then that leader must be supporting accountability processes. Ensure that all these findings lead to corrective actions. And you provide recommendations, suggest improvements to strengthen compliance system. Because in our parliament, they come out with suggestions. If this person has embezzled this amount of money, why don't you do this? Okay, next time from now onwards, do this. You must also be on top of something so that we check and not to repeat again. But if there is a financial misappropriation, then we don't check it, and the same thing occurs again, the following year it occurs again, then there's something wrong with the audit system. Yes, we agree it's a human society. At least the following year, a new device, because human being can think, it should be a new thing. But if the old thing is being recurring, then we have a problem there. Now, I was happy when my brother was talking about how technology is being used, AI. Now, the AI has come to make things for us easy. The blockchain technology can be applied to check fraud and compliance, and other things can be developed. And when I was listening to you, I was happy to hear that they have tailored the thing within the Nigerian concept, not foreign concept, Nigerian concept for easy assimilation. So we have to automate our system by bringing in the technology. There's nothing we can do. We shouldn't behave like the Gen Z. I'm sure you know what is Gen Z. In Ghana, those below 20 years, let's say 30 and below, we call them Gen Zs. And from 30 and above, we are the old school. So, the Gen Zs, they like these things and they understand it better. So there might be an automation, and we should also learn. We shouldn't allow the technology to go against it. Otherwise, we find it very difficult to catch up. We'll also be creating a gap there. Though we are in an era of digitalization, we must try as much as we learn in relation to our work. How best? I know government to bring those policies, catch up quickly, learn, devote time, go on your YouTube, understand the concept very well, and it will apply to enhance your job. Data analysis, they carry bigger data. And your work at your various departments, I know the data is huge. Go were the days when the banking sector, they use the ledger book and the writings of things. It takes about 6 months for them to sit down and come out with financial statement. But today, it does a matter of pressing a button, and within some minutes, all your financial statements are. Very soon, I'm sure accountants will be thrown out of job. We'll be looking for only data entry clerks. Because you want to carry all the data, put it in there, and then give instructions. It will give you the financial statement and everything, analyze this for you, and give you projections. So would you wait for this thing to throw you out of job? No, you must also learn. At your leisure, go on the YouTube. We are lucky. the thing is open for us. I was reading the Bible the other day. They say when Jesus died, the curtain opened. So I said, so the curtain has now opened. You can see beyond. That's why these technologies are starting. Hey, my friend, let me also join.
But I think the analysis
Good.
and the application matters now. That is where the professionals will come in. The application of those analysis. Because when the AI give the analysis, then it takes someone that knows what to do to interpret and apply it the way it should be.
Okay, but do you know something? I had a dream one day. I was confused. No, this dream, let me get the meaning. Who will interpret this? Then I said, well, let me go to AI. I queried the AI correctly. And he interpreted the dream to me. He gave me different aspects of the dream. And I saw where the dream will be leading to. That I said, oh God, I thank you. So AI is God. I'm trying to give it the right feeling. Give it the right interpretation. Go within the dream. It will give it to you and give you different versions, and you realize that, oh, this is what
Did you apply it? That's where the issue is.
And I think probably the result of the AI is agreeing with what you hope to hear.
No, because the thing came again. Okay, let me tell you. This happened about 3 weeks ago. You know, this license for the fintech company, I struggled for it for 4 years through 2 regimes. I gave up. Because you need to put the setup, everything. I spent a lot of money. And I gave up that, okay, this is my faith. Then I had a dream, some funny dream. I don't understand. Then I queried the artificial intelligence, like, charge it. Then the thing came, which shows that you are hoping for something and you've lost hope. But anyway, from now, it will come. Then they gave me another one that it could also mean this. Then he asked another, if you can tell me about this, then you can tell you. So I said yes. I'm looking for a license from BOG, time. I was just thinking that. Then the idea came, I think your food is something. Then I saw an email coming from bank. Like charm of the food was true. You see, so I have a different view about artificial intelligence. I want to see whether I agree. The game is normal or there's some African believe in something. There's something behind every. You try this. When you dream, you don't try. So they pick the salient point and put it in. You go with it. You give you about some versions and you definitely say no. This is what.
But I think there was a time.
Yeah. I
told the AI to interpret a word in my language.
Okay.
Interpreted it wrong.
Yeah.
Now I have to correct. I have to give him the real meaning and the real thing concerning that question that I asked. Then they now send back, thank you. Next time I Google the same thing again, and he gave me exactly what
because you key in.
Yes. Yes. And what he added to it, I'm sure other people have also added to it. So he added to it. I think what I'm saying here is that majority of what we have here is what people that have passed through that experience or have knowledge about that has already keyed in. Just like we are having this in our lecture now. If AI will tell you, especially as we are in Zoom, will tell you it's recording. Whatever you are giving here, if another person somewhere in the globe should ask for this topic that you are giving, he will give us this and he will also add it. So I think it's a pool of knowledge from every area, from every part of the whole continent. So I think that is what I say. So maybe the spirit that is working in it should be the spirit of God, not the spirit of the devil.
So before you go further, I want to ask you a question. With your way and experience and service rendered to Ghanaians, you wanted to lead a company, and then it took you 4 years. Yes. What happened?
That's one political town.
Human factor. Human factor. Because there are already players in the market. They don't want you to enter. You suffer from all those things. Some people took our business proposal and showed to other players. They look at it and say, no, this will hold them a little. And maybe I'm one of those who come into the market having law enforcement background from the police and from EFCC kind of you go in Ghana. So they do understand why the police officer will look being on the police. Oh, he said, what is it coming? No. What is it going to be? This big industry. And you know, fintech is coming to take over the world soon. What is this guy coming? Is he coming to investigate the area and then leak information? And so I suffered. And they don't expect me to have money as a deposit because it's not for. So the allegation was the money is not yours. You are fronting for somebody. So investigations upon investigations upon investigations, then that regime went. I have to start over again. New regime has come. They are looking to pay. So those are the things that they need. Of course, God was like yes, that's right.
Please let me add something here. Can you hear me? In respect of the AI, one of the distinguished delegates mentioned that he gave AI to interpret something and later AI feed on his own information, updated it to repeat the same solution to other people. I want us to try when we settle down. Have you heard of Grok? Grok.com. Grok. That is grok.com. Grok is an AI tool. And one key feature of that AI is that it makes use of live data. That is one of, I won't say it's the only, but it's one of the AI tools that make use of live data. Live data. That is, if you go to log into that particular AI tool and you are asking about statistics, it will connect to the statistics available on the internet as at that time. So if after a few minutes you repeat the same task, it's going to change. You may not get the same result. So grok, grok.com. Thank you. That's the contribution I just want to make.
Thank you for chipping in. So we go on. So how do we build a culture of compliance to enable us achieve the objective? Ethical training and awareness. Training. Educate staff on policies and expected behavior. Don't assume they should know. You all agree that in Africa, they say if you don't want people to know something, put it in the book. So we should now reverse it. Keep on telling them. Then leadership role modeling. Leaders must demonstrate compliance in their actions. Because everybody would like to copy a leader. Everybody would like to go according to what the leader is saying. Then open communications and feedback. We shouldn't behave in such a way that like in Ghana, we will not talk. But we will go and be talking among ourselves. You see, this person, this. But the Nigerians, they are vocal, they will talk. Then the consequence. Make sure you all speak so that you know their intention, not to go behind the scene and then give grapevine information.
Now, you must recognize at least those who live according to expectation and reward them somehow. You give them some badges and it will motivate others as well. Now, what do you gain if you adhere to policies? Those policies that are getting done and we adhere to it. We shall improve financial discipline. We shall reduce corruption and fraud. We shall enhance the public trust. Citizens will gain confidence in government institutions, and it affects you as well. They ask you, where are you working? I'm working at such. Oh, beautiful. It carries weight. But there are some organizations in Ghana, when they ask where you're working, you say, oh, I'm working there, you are corrupt. So better policy outcome, effective implementation leads to achievement of developmental goals. Now, we are about to finish what we learned and carry away. Governments which adhere to organizations, civil service, public service, which adhere to policies and compliance, improve public financial management through strong enforcement and digital system. Now, weak compliance, where we did not follow to the rules, we do things according to our wishes, give financial mismanagement and public criticism. Now, when we bridge the gap between policy and the practice, the policies that we have and the practice, we don't go according to the policies. What's going to happen? Our implementations will have problems. Then, if we align leadership and systems, strong governance require both ethical leadership and robust systems. Continuous improvement is necessary. That regular review ensure policies remain effective. Then call for action. Ministries, departments, and agencies must prioritize ethical compliance. They shouldn't joke with the SOP, standard of operation practice. That will help them to strengthen governance. Now, let's go home with this. Ethical compliance. It ensures effective public financial management. Ethics tells us what is good and what is bad. Let me chip in. A lawyer went to court to defend the client. So the charges were guilty or not guilty? Not guilty, my lord. Then the lawyer stood up, my lord. I hate this nonsense. You are a principal person. He confided the deal, he told the thing. So in order that we don't waste time, my lord, let's finish him and then we do it. Is there any ethical implications here? Yes. When is it? Confidentiality. So you breach the aspect of confidentiality. But the lawyer is the good citizen.
Then the intent of the lawyer to be in court is to give him protection. Then, okay, before that, you would have briefed him that he did it. So, on getting that, you would have proceeded to defend him because he deceived him by trying to defend that case. I think that lawyer again. When he was telling, they always brief him before going to confess. Since you committed on them,
you have to tell me that. I teach you suppress truth.
Even ethics, you should have mentioned it to that lawyer that having taken brief from but if you are not able to defend it, don't go ahead. Yeah, and decide you. Or it's not advising you to be guilty.
That's why the advice the client to plead guilty and then plead with the judge. Yes. But the ethics of the lawyer stops him from going to say, oh,
Okay, so another one is
you don't go practice again. I'm not going to ever before even flowing because you would have paid him some money. Yes.
So we agree that strong leadership is essential in these policy gap, practice gap issues. So leadership should lead up to that. Then internal control and technology must play a big role. Then culture of compliance strengthens accountability, transparency, and trust. But now you want the questions and contributions. Yes.
As the criminal ever confessed to you while we were in this one.
Did you watch them? Did you record them?
Oh yes. We did like anything.
No, confided in you, but
Yes, but you know one of the weaknesses.
Yeah,
So
let's not be
God gives me knowledge in
Sir,
so
now
I'm not bad.
Now you're a pastor. Has your member ever confessed anything?
Yes, they do.
Do you expose the person?
The ethics of that. I
don't talk to you.
But you know, my weakness in the police service. I handle big cases. Big. Every Google you see that. But one thing about if I'm doing a case and you tell me, sir, I have done it. Then how did you do it? This is a method excuse. I'm in your hands. You can choose to save me. You can choose to kill me. As soon as you say that, then you weaken me. I'll take myself. I'm weak. I'll refer you to a different place.
Or you will report.
Oh yes.
That confession.
No. I won't report, but I'll just hand over to
You feel guilty.
the person to come to my table and the report they read this information. Now, sir. I said, call it.
Let us now look at it. Now, we should have this. It's EFCC's outcome. I have eaten this morning up to 100 of millions of dollars to the parent. They are calling for what can you do?
Our advice will go for lawyer for you. And we'll look at.
So use your influence to cause the commissioner of police.
Oh,
to be a member in your condition.
Oh, yeah. That's why you should face the law. Okay. But don't forget, God is there. God is there. You can find yourself in the darkness of all, but the Lord can save you. Maybe He wants to use you for a purpose. That's why He allowed you to go there. So when you come out, you become a big comfort. Yes. But you must face the Lord. I forgot to yes. But the Lord can save you too. I think in the Bible, how did God save a lot of people?
That's mercy.
Let me tell you something.
I feel
Mercy.
I happen to investigate the billion dollars of Africa was divorced. He was the bar at the age 16. At the age 16, you want to have for him anyways, A. And something happened, I was to investigate the incidentally, this man, later I got to know it's my relation. It comes from my own ethnic group. Camp, where I was born, it comes from there. So that family's name is very popular. And along the line, I was to investigate. I just asked, I pray, I say, God, am I going to do good or am I going to do? The voice is, go, carry on. So I did it. And I sent him to prison. Not knowing he was going to prison through me. to help some people in the prison. And he got trouble. He saw that no, people were mistakenly put in prison. A prisoner fighting for freedom, and make sure a lot of people are released from prison before he was in prison. He is an asthmatic patient. In the prison, somebody was, and he has voice of law every now and then. Right hand and that means if you Google, you know. He was dying. Some people in the prison were dying of asthma, so he gave all his medication and he needed. As soon as his medication finished, then asthma attacked him. So he was to die, but people came and rescued him to hospital. Through the hospital, we brought him to our legal hospital, and the president gave him pardon. He refused to accept the pardon. Oh, yes, that's no. He hasn't died again. He was mistaken. Now, this man, when he's out of prison, but he fought for it and he was acquitted and discharged. Only then he's talking to the public. He said, no, God has designed him to go to prison as at that time. So at times, these things happen. So when he was in prison, I had a shock of my life. People might try, people start blaming me. This, that, oh, my friends, my classmates, they came to show, what you have done is wrong. As if I've done something wrong. So I ran to my pastor. My pastor said, come to work. We were prepared to strengthen the constitution of Ghana. Because in our constitution, things are not fine. He selected to go to prison to strengthen the constitution of Ghana. And they need somebody who will not commit suicide. That's why he was so forget. It was not that hard. I realized it is true. And through that, my action, the constitution of Ghana. So I thank God.
So apparently, was it discovered that he was not really?
He was guilty of that child. Yeah, many of the child.
The law is this. They say you cause financial loss to the state. You need not to steal. You need not to embezzle. But your action and inactions gives all these loss to the state. That's all. They look at it. So if they bring that law, it's not a question of be done. If you can account for me, can prove that. And the whole issue is that you want to know more? Okay. A company in Ghana was to develop cocoa. It's a hybrid of cocoa. And there's a market in Switzerland to buy. And all the defunct cocoa companies in Ghana, that company bought them. And he was looking for laborers. And all those who work in cocoa company and mess up and they sack them, those are the people recruited for that company. It's a foreign company. So this foreign company needed additional funding. So they approached a finance company from France called K Francais de Développement to give loan. And they also look at the whole thing and say, no, this project is viable. But they said they need a sovereign guarantee. Because at that time, Rollins and Cody were struggling in the economy. But this man, the lawyer, became the head of GMPC. And Ghana's exploration too was going on. So he has to come in to guarantee using GMPC to guarantee and sign it. Now, not quite long, that cocoa company, they steal everything and steal the leaves. When they were in debt, the 3P, the guarantor. Then he decided to say, okay, me have a lawyer, I know this. Then before I pay, then we need additional share. So about 29%, 30% shares were given to GMPs. And he paid the first tranche, second tranche, and the third tranche. So when government changed, they said, GMPC for cocoa. No. GMPC is to go with petroleum exploration. He has diverted so causing financial loss. That's what that. He defended himself.
They are resource partners.
He defended himself.
He denied, but still refused the offer of part.
He decided to call in that finance company to come in. So whether the project was viable, I think as a near.
Were politicians interested in it?
Dr. Anyadi, we thank you so much for your presentation, and we thank Mr. Civilian Sabu. His absence here. Our next stage will be listening to Professor Adebayo. Prof, before we enter would you give us your closing remarks before we enter our graduation process, please?
All right. Thank you very much for that. Earlier on today, I did promise that I was going to do 3 in 1, but because of time, I took 2 of that presentation. Within the next 5 minutes, as I take that closing remark, let me quickly share with us a very, very important takeaway. Peradventure, somebody is saying, okay, day 1, since we have started, value has not been added. And even today, value has not been added. As a very exciting information and presentation, just 5 minutes that we will take home in addition to all we have learned during the course of this training. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished delegates, if you can see my screen, you will see what I've titled, Making People Your Most Valuable Investment. Before now, I've also shared with us that when we are building a system, the first thing to do is to build the people. Because the people who refuse to build will eventually destroy the system we are planning to build. So human beings are the most valuable investment. In accounting, we talk of human resources accounting. Invest billions of dollars, billions of nairas in machines, in digital tools. Without building the people to work with this machine, we have only wasted resources. So I will share with us in 5 minutes, making people your most valuable investment. And I'm glad that the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy are known to build their staff. That's why they have invested in this training holding right in Ghana. To make money, make people. The people you make today will make you tomorrow. To invest in properties is good, but to invest in people is far better. Making people happen is far lasting than making things happen. The people you make today will make things happen tomorrow. Nothing makes life sweet like making people happy. Your greatest trophies are the tears you wipe away, not the things you achieve. Your greatest achievement is raising achiever. Life is better when you are happy, but life is at its best when others are happy because of you. Be faithful in touching others' hearts. Be an inspiration. Nothing in nature lives for itself. Rivers do not drink their own water. Trees do not eat their own fruit. The sun does not shine for itself, and flowers do not spread their fragrance for themselves. Living for others is a rule of nature. We were all created to help and support each other. No matter how difficult the situation you find yourself in, still do good to others. To make people valuable makes your life more honorable. The people you make happy will in turn make you happy. Somebody may put it this way, but I've done that before. I've made people happy and they reward me with evil. my own advice is continue in that good you do to people. My mother of blessed memory one day called me. I was still in 100 level, ABU Zaria, in Gusau Zamfara State. I still remember I had the mental picture. He just called me, say, my son, come and sit down. She sat me on the bed. And you know what my mom told me? Say, my son, he said, when you are kind to a black man and the black man reward you with evil, don't feel too bad. It may be that God has arranged a white man somewhere to reward you. So if you are saying because of the way people have returned your act of kindness in the time past, you will withhold it, you have not justified for doing that. I share this story with us, then I conclude. We have this professor in University of Maiduguri, Professor Adefila is his name. True life testimony he shared with me. He said he was traveling back to Maiduguri. He traveled by road to Abuja, and he was driving back to Maiduguri. And unfortunately, he ran into the hand of the Boko Haram guys. And they already collected his car key, they stripped him of all his belongings. And of course, they want to execute judgment, to lynch him, that's to kill him. And suddenly, a command came from inside the bush. That's the commander. Say, stop. And those guys stopped. And that voice, is that not Professor Adefila? And this professor was shivering. Say, yes, I am the one. So give him back his car key, give him back his belongings. And he provided escort to lead him out of the danger zone. If we put two and two together, this is a true life testimony. If we put two and two together, why was he spared? We find out Professor Adefila is not a professor. He has been in the University of Maiduguri for more than 20 years. And he was not one of those professors who oppressed students. So I'm very sure the news has gone around. He was kind, or he's still kind, because he's still there up to now. As a matter of fact, he spent up to 30 years or more in that university. Each time they tell him, when are you going home? That's Southwest. He will ask back, where is home? Wherever the place I've stayed for more than 30, this is my place. The people you help today becomes your enemies tomorrow. That was his own case now. It is not places that make people, it is people that make places. I tell my students, I say success without succession makes one a failure. If your success starts with you and ends with you alone, then you cannot claim to be successful. Say those who are not looking for happiness many times are the most likely to find it, because those who are searching for happiness often forget that the surest way to be happy is to seek happiness for others. And I conclude here, I say, do not let ungratefulness from others hold you back from supporting those in need. And I share one last experience. I have a professor who was my lecturer from 100 level, ABU Zaria, and later the same professor happened to be a one-time commissioner for finance, then a VC in a university, and the rest. But of course, since the VC appointment is not forever, the guy came down, he has served his tenure. And each time we meet, when I travel to Nigeria, whenever we meet, he will call me. He said, Adebayo, I have 5 years US visa. But my challenge now is the ticket. Help me. I will be laughing. I will be laughing. I thought he was joking. So 3 different times he would tell me it's just the trip to go to US before the visa expires. And finally, I made up my mind. I did the ticket for him. And I know rough estimate, because I also visited him. I traveled from here, Baton Rouge, where I stay in US, to Dallas to go and visit him. Everything cost me over 5 million naira. So when he was going back to Nigeria, he was supposed to have a connecting flight, but there was delay and he missed his flight in Europe. That he had to stay at the airport for longer hours, for maybe extra 8 hours. And he called me. This is what happened. I missed my flight. Immediately, I called the airline and they asked him to join United Airlines going to Addis Ababa. Anyway, he arrived back in Abuja like maybe 12, 13 hours later than expected. He doesn't have problem. And while we are still looking at this, I got this message from his wife, who happened to know me. You may not be able to read, but I will read it. Say, good day, Prof. I hope you and your loved ones are doing well. I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank you for covering my husband's ticket to the US. However, I must express some concern. My husband may not be fully familiar with ticketing, travel routes, or airline partnership, which I believe warranted some consideration before booking such an inexpensive ticket. See his wife. Frankly, it's not a ticket I would even consider for my 20-year-old daughter, let alone a 60-year-old professor who has dedicated his life to serving and supporting many, including yourself. All those stuff. So anyway, look at my own response. Good morning, Doc. See my own response to her. Good morning, Doc. Thank you for the message and expression of your worries over the flight challenges experienced by Prof. I don't think I am so inconsiderate to the level of booking a cheap flight that we stress in. If United did not cancel the flight from Frankfurt to Abuja, it should have arrived in Abuja by 5:20 p.m. yesterday. Take a look at the original flight booked. May God bring him back safely. Next time, we will plan better. I did not judge because of the reaction of the wife. Enjoy your harvest. Thank you once again for being part and parcel of this training. And we are looking forward for greater collaboration. Enjoy the best in Accra, Ghana. And I mentioned yesterday, I don't know if the Honorable Pamsek is online. I mentioned yesterday that your ministry qualified for global membership of ACCSA Global. Have a wonderful afternoon. God bless you all. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any
comment?
comments?
All right.
Yeah, I said about process. It's a practical example.
Prof, according to the whites, the sages here, they say when an elder takes the bath, bathing ceases. Because it's assumed that all the younger ones have taken their bath already. So once you've spoken, it's come to
I'm also I'm a very young professor. No, do I? All right, now go to now go to Moku. Thank you very much. Enjoy the best of Accra. And to our resource person, we say thank you once again. And to the Honorable Pamsek, we appreciate you all. This thing wouldn't have been possible without your cooperation. I will relay this information to the board of ACCSA Global. We're looking forward to greater collaboration and greater impact. Thank you once again. God bless.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's zoom straight into the graduation ceremony. We would have to take pictures. We'll be taking loads of pictures. I mean, as much as we can get a shot. We take a group picture first, then I will couple the individual certificates and take the pictures. I don't know whether we should